There we go. Hello again. This is Ben Hitchcock Cross talking to you today. We're continuing on the Old Manson saga here. I hope I pronounced that right, but you know, as I say, I'm from Milwaukee, and you can pronounce your name any way you want, and so can I. But we basically we're trying to discover here if our free speech rights are being chilled here. Um, so that's really the question that we're gonna put here. We know this is a government actor, so she's acting under color of state law, um, and really, in my opinion, and we'll go over the rest of this, but the big question here ultimately um, is this chilling our First Amendment rights? So we'll find out. But here's the big paragraph in question that says, I observed that despite you have created and uploaded YouTube content pertaining to this case, including content that defames Lieutenant Miller. Your treatment of Miss Miller is regrettable. Miss Miller is a hardworking, innocent public servant. All right. So that's, I think, the question that we're going to leave you with is it and this is my just talking about the allegations of the complaint, apparently according to them, is defaming a hardworking public servant, which is like actionable and something that you shouldn't do and should be deeply ashamed of here. So we will keep going. This is the first letter was May 20th. Now we're jumping forward in time to May 21st, 2024. To Attorney Ben Hitchcock Cross, that's yours truly. And this is from the Wisconsin Department of Corrections, but also Governor Tony Evers. So just in case you forget who we're talking about here, Tony Evers is ultimately responsible for this letter. Dear Attorney Cross, I regret that I have not received a response. Well, you have. Let's just remember that for every one of these letters, this person got a bounce back notice that said that I was on vacation. So that I'm going to guess is probably not true. But okay. I note that less than an hour ago, you uploaded new content to your YouTube channel in which you discussed the First Amendment and other Section 1983 claims in a federal case. I observe in the past 6 days you have uploaded 6 new videos. I'm sure the algorithm, parentheses here, I'm sure the algorithm was pleased with that. It would seem that if you have time to create content for your YouTube viewers, you should probably be able to find time to respond to the outstanding discovery in this case. The statutes and rules of our state require participation in the discovery process. They do not require creation of YouTube content. Here we go. Your law license is on the line, and compliance with your obligations as an attorney should be prioritized. Michelle, Stephen, and I will attempt to call you this afternoon to discuss discovery. Best regards, Andrea L. Olmanson, electronically signed, Assistant Legal Counsel, Attorney for Respondent, Office of Legal Counsel, Wisconsin Department of Corrections. So, I mean, I guess in a sense here, this is, of course, me opining here. I guess in a sense that all the time an attorney's license is on the line. Attorney's license is always on the line. I guess that's fair to say. But it's also true that you're always breathing and that you're thinking right now. It's also true that A equals A. You see what I'm saying? Generally speaking, we don't go putting A equals A in letters for a very good reason because we have other things to do. So one can assume that somebody puts your law licenses on the line. There's some reason in particular that they feel that your law license is on the line. So, there we go with that one. They have really nice cardstock, by the way, not the junk that we print stuff out on. Now, let's just think here. We're on page 4. And let's just think of how many hours was put into not only writing these words on the page to stifle somebody's free speech rights, but how many hours they spent. And, the YouTube algorithm, I'm sure, appreciates it. I'm sure I appreciate it. The the statistics here, I'm sure, if it wasn't for the Department of Workforce, the Department of Workforce Development or the Office of Legal Counsel, Wisconsin Department of Corrections, where would we be for Channel? I mean, we'd be dead in the water. So I appreciate that, of course, of course. But seriously, guys, um, one would hope that there was better things to do with our tax dollars. That's what I'll say. Here we go. May 23rd, we're going to leap in forward in time. At least there was something happen on May 22nd that was able to keep, so Tony Evers could chill out for at least on May 22nd. So that's cool. I hope he got something positive done. Just so you know, this was delivered via fax, first class mail, and email. Just so you know. And let's, throughout this letter, let's keep in mind how much state. Let's just sort of. I wish we had a running time bill on the top here. But let's keep this going. I regret that in Monday's correspondence, I erroneously identified your civil attorney as William F. Sutton, rather than Patrick M. O'Connor. I think somebody's got to spell his name right at some time, but these things happen. Regardless, through my sentiment, though, my sentiment remains the same. Ooh, good alliteration. Your own counsel should be in a good position to provide you with dispassionate, accurate advice. Ooh, again, good alliteration. There's many things about her writing that can be commended. Moving on. That's, by the way, after these letters were written, I made several formal complaints, and including a letter that we'll read soon. Can't wait for that. And it seems that Andrea Olmanson continued to write hundreds and hundreds of pages. It's just that Michelle Zacard signed her name to it. And one of the ways I think that's true is that a telltale Andrea Olmanson is moving on, comma. I like moreover. That's my moving on. But moreover, anybody knows the names of those that I would appreciate you put it in the chat. What is that preposition? You put it at the beginning of the thing, and then you hit comma. There's a few things you might know about me, but parts of speech are possibly left and right, are probably two things that are bigger. Certainly, I'd much rather go into a room of school board members and tell them how my client feels about them than be quizzed on left and right. Without no hands. I mean, hands under the table, that's a different story entirely. All right. Oh. Well, now we know what they're doing. I'm sorry to keep this from you here. Okay, moving on. I again offered a proposed stipulation in order for a protective order updated to May rather than April. A copy is enclosed/attached. Oh, I have another one of them right here. All right. It's kind of nice for me. I got another one. Furthermore, I note that on May 22nd, yesterday, so they were otherwise occupied. I seriously wonder if I may put out 8 hours of videos a day, would they get any work done at on the clock at the DOC? I really hope that the people of the state of Wisconsin are not paying the attorneys working for the Department of Corrections to watch my videos. Because at least somebody's... All right. As I previously editorialized, we agree to a certain extent that editorialized is a fair description of her previous email correspondence. If you have time to create YouTube content, you have time to respond to Discovery. I do wonder if they understand the concept that I'm not literally in the phone or TV or however you're getting your YouTube. I couldn't do that. I'm I've got kids here, people. I can't be in your TVs all the time. I'm sorry. Um, the way this thing works is that just so we're clear, that through various magical means, um, I record videos, usually using cameras. Then sometimes they're edited, sometimes they're obviously not. Then those are uploaded to servers that YouTube has. I then after that, I could not say. But it's wow. I guess it's all coming out here now. Um, From one member of a bar to another, I am very concerned that a fellow attorney is being so cavalier with his law license. You are already facing a number of OLR complaints. And I think, yeah, I assume she's referring to somebody at the DOC, but I don't, I could not say. Nobody likes to be grieved from the Office of Lawyer Regulation, certainly not for exercising free speech on YouTube. That's not fun for anybody, but if that's going on, that would be pretty unfortunate. Given the prior dismissal of Ms. Stolar's probable cause, I'm sorry. You are already facing a number of Office of Lawyer Regulation complaints. Do you want to make your situation worse? Question mark. I'm going to read that again. You are already facing a number of complaints, OLR complaints at that. Do you want to make your situation worse? Question mark. Now, just to me, that sounds like a straight up threat. Just a straight up threat. I mean, before we had this one where it says your law license is on the line, and we were pretty clever and cavalier about all of that. I don't know what you were doing in May, but I was being threatened by the state of Wisconsin on behalf of my client, who I'm speaking for. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. So let's compare. Your law license is on the line, and compliance and obligation as attorney should be prioritized. Okay, let's combine that with you are already facing a number of OLR complaints. Do you want to make your situation worse? Question mark. Given the prior of dismissal of Miss Stolar's probable cause portion of the case, you probably should be talking to your malpractice carrier regarding not only that, but also how to address your role in the current posture of the case. All right. Now, just to compare how, here's what I wanted to say on that. I think that if there was a mistake that I can see in how this was handled, it's simply this. This was written on May 23rd, and I kind of think this should have been on YouTube on May 24th. And I think the OLR, I think there's a lot of things, the civil lawsuits, I think there's a lot of reasons there. But I appreciate that is very clear to me, all of your comments and the strength and goodwill and how obvious these comments are. And that's, and you'll see in my follow-up letter there, but it's different because, Ben, hey, why would this bother you? It's because it's directed at me through my client. And I think that that's really what the problem is here. And I think that's partially why they're doing it. But I do appreciate the fact that people who are not lawyers, that this is quite obvious, assault on freedom of speech is quite obvious to them. So I think that that's really important and a source of strength to everybody, and certainly one of the reasons why we continue to do this channel, given the obvious costs involved in getting this news to you. But hey, news isn't free, as we always say. It just makes us free. All right. Yeah, that was tough. Nobody likes to talk about people filing OLR complaints. Why she knows that there are already a number of OLR complaints against me does make me a little bit uncomfortable, I have to say. But if that's how they want to roll, that's how they want to roll. Let's put it like that. If it's unethical to discuss people on, I mean, everybody, you can go see what happened with Mac Defesa Haya, for example, on YouTube. I think that's it's all there. Um, I think that's the question. Wow. This is, you can see here even my physical reaction to all this. This is this may or may not be designed to what they're trying to do here. But we're moving forward. It's because I feel that this is giving rise to direct liability to Andrea Olmondson, that I think that it's an opportunity here to teach the state of Wisconsin and many of the bureaucrats who work for the state of Wisconsin the importance of the Constitution and freedom of speech and democratic scrutiny. And that makes me a little bit happy to have that opportunity. So, because the Constitution is important for everybody all the time. That's what's so great about it. All right. I previously provided you with a link to Lawyer Directory. If you don't wish to avail yourself of that resource, you may wish to contact the State Ethics Bar Ethics Hotline. Dear Ethics Hotline, I have uploaded YouTube videos, and the opposing counsel thinks that has a disagreement with my discovery. It's always nice to say things out loud. If the problem... I forgot all about this. You just don't do this to other lawyers. You just don't. You just don't. And you just don't. But here, they just did. If the problem involves substance abuse or mental health, Wisconsin Lawyers, whatever, is there for you. Here's a link. Regardless of the nature of the problem, however, you really need to get back on track and respond to this outstanding discovery. I will try to call you this afternoon and discuss all of the discovery issues. I hope that you will make yourself available. This is also, by the way, an email that Ms. Olmondson would have gotten a bounce back note, out of office reply. Just for ingenuousness purposes. Here we go, June 3rd. We're moving. There may be a June 1st one. If there is, I'll come back to it. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up here. We're going to get rolling with, we got one more letter to go, very possibly. And then we've got the response. So that'll be fun. That will be fun. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll keep you informed.